Thanks for tuning in, my friends. I recently went on a podcast, not to discuss the topic that I'm going to discuss with you today, but it definitely came up, and I just got off of the phone communicating with a client, and this has just come up 5 or 6 times in the last week. So I said, let's talk about it. Let's make this one of Yancey's mental conditioning videos. On the podcast, the question came up, what's the most important aspect of training for this event, Yancey? And the question came across as from a physical standpoint. And before the words were all out of their mouth, I knew exactly where the question was coming from. And I spun it around. I said, listen, with all my clients, the most important thing that I coach, I put it up here, and all the physical training is right up under it, is I want you to be able to wake up when you're 60, 70, 80 years old and say, I really enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the training. I enjoyed the racing. I enjoyed the pre-race, during the race, the post-race, off-season, pre-season, the week leading up to the race, the week after the race, every bit of it. And all my clients know, all my clients listen to this understand exactly what I'm talking about, because I talk about it in various ways. I want you to enjoy the process. Really and truly, the training is kind of like work. Worked in the corporate world for 16 years, while I was also moonlighting with a fitness career. And I don't want to say would spin it. I wasn't spinning anything. I thoroughly convinced myself, and I had 2 jobs that I love, not just one. I had 2. The corporate grind was tough sometimes, just like training. It was brutally tough mentally and physically sometimes. But I simply would not let my feet hit the floor in the morning or let my feet hit the pavement at work to walk into my office and walk into my day's work without telling myself that I'm going to enjoy today. I'm going to enjoy the process today. Everything that today entails, I'm going to enjoy it. So if you're in a place, now let's drill that down to OCR training or any other training that I'm working with you on. If you're in a place, and put yourself on the truth serum here, where you're not happy and you don't, but on that, when you truth serum, ask yourself this question: will I be happy, as Yancey said, when I wake up when I'm 60, 70, 80 years old? If the answer is no, we have to make an adjustment. So I'm a firm believer that a good program that you really enjoy up here, you enjoy the process, is going to outperform some magical great program, perfect program, they don't exist, that you don't enjoy. You're going to end up performing down here over time. There are people with Olympic medals around their neck that understand what I'm talking about. There are world champions in various sports that understand what I'm talking about. There are also people with Olympic medals around their neck and world championships and whatever rings or whatever gold medals and trophies that are waking up when they're 60, 70, 80 years old, and they didn't enjoy the process along the way, and they don't enjoy it now, and they're looking back with regrets. I don't want you to have any regrets. Each day is a freaking gift. And I went and did hill sprints yesterday, and on the way, man, I put some good music on, and I got myself pumped up and fired up for those hill sprints. Yes, I knew they were going to be painful. One of the questions I got in the podcast was the word suck. Did it suck? And I go to Will Hicks puts on a great podcast, the world's toughest podcast. I'm probably going to be the last episode that aired. You can find it on the various podcast platforms. Take a listen. The word, does it suck or did it suck? And I said, hey, Will, let's spin that around and say it was painful. It was challenging. Yes, it was challenging. But did it suck? I don't allow myself to say that. My kids, they can't say that. Can't. It sucked. I don't even like hard. Challenge. Challenge is a good word. Challenge pumps me up. It sounds like, yeah, let's go. Let's go get that. Suck spins the mind upside down and creates a crappy feeling in the mind. But challenge, yes. So a little play on words, little things that you need to do to be your own psychologist. We don't have the degree or the certification, but we can play from our own little elementary level. We can be our own mental conditioning coaches. I challenge you to do that. So listen, I want you to enjoy what you do, when you're doing it, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and every day. Like I say in many posts, many messages, videos, we stack today here, the next day's up here, and then up here, and we just slowly stack these good days on top of each other, and that becomes greatness. Greatness is waking up when you're 60, 70, 80 years old and say, man, you got a big shit-eating grin on your face. See, people say that anymore? My dad and grandpa used to say it all the time. You got the big shit-eating grin on your face, and wait a second, that doesn't really make sense if you think about it. You eat shit, you're not gonna be grinning. Where'd that come from? Who can send me a private message, let me know where the statement shit-eating grin came from? Because I need to know that one. But anyway, you wake up and you're like, man, that was a great life. I still got more to live, but yesterday was great and today's gonna be great. And you know what? Tomorrow's gonna be great. I want you to enjoy it. You gotta enjoy your training. If you're training for world championships next year, what are we gonna do to shift the process to where we enjoy it more? There's people right now, good friends of mine, I'm not gonna call them out, but they're in a terrible grind. They're pretty darn good athletes, and they spend a lot of time on the podium, but mentally, they're not enjoying the process. And you can. I believe you can. You might need to switch your workouts up some, but a lot of you can do the workouts that you're doing right now, the exact programming. Maybe you're not enjoying your Yancey Camp programming. You got to coach your mind. It might be simply saying, this is not going to suck today. This is going to be a challenge today. Play on words, my friends. Start playing with them. Start playing with your mind a little bit. Flip things upside down. And let's go. Let's make a change. So one of my big lofty goals for the rest of 2019 and definitely throughout 2020 is I want you to enjoy the process. I want you to be in a place where you wake up every day and you're like, I'm excited for this beautiful life of mine. And work and play and in training. Work and play and training. Us athletes, that's all we do. That incorporates 100% of our time. And I want you to enjoy all of it. And yes, training can be challenging, but we enjoy that challenge. Good things come from it. In the moment, it puts us in situations where we can perform well out on course. It might just be running your first clean race, failing a few less obstacles, getting on your first age group podium, getting on your first elite podium, or winning your first championship. I have clients that run that full gamut. There's a lot of beauty and a lot of greatness that happen between those two bookends. Coming in last place, but still enjoying the process, or winning the championship and still enjoying the process, and everybody in between. I want you to all enjoy the process. Much love, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all be good. Keep lighting up the planet.